What's going on, guys? So on my screen here, this is one of my students from my coaching program, Nick, and really good friends with Nick now, but we've worked together for quite a long time. And as you guys can see here, within our first 3 months of working together in this top right corner, we were able to do $166,000 in sales with a single product that we launched with, a simple ad set and just a scaling strategy that we implemented together. And through this, as you can see, it scaled up month after month. And we were able to get this to around $60,000 a month in sales within our first 3 months with this product. Now, throughout this, within our first 6 months, so 3 months after this point in October of 2023, we were able to get this store to $20,000 a day in sales. And throughout the course of that rest of the year, was able to make Nick about $2 million from this store. And this was, Nick, who before working with me, had zero sales on multiple stores he'd tried. Nick had tried drop shipping for months and saw no results. He wasn't special. He didn't have, hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest into inventory and all this. Nick literally had $0 to his name and was able to make $2 million in about a year from, actually getting the mentorship that, it requires to learn this business and just implementing that with the right skills. Now, basically, the reason I'm making this video now is because Nick has officially shut down this store and moved on to a new brand. So in this video, I'm going to be completely dropping the product. I'm going to be dropping our strategies. I'm going to be dropping exactly what made this product blow up so fast and exactly how we found it and kind of just give you guys all the sauce. But, before I go ahead and segue into this video, if you guys are interested in working with me and potentially joining my coaching program, there are links in the description for that. No pressure at all. But if you're looking for mentorship, that's where you'll find that. But getting onto my screen here, the strategy that I would use for Nick. So Nick obviously had no experience. And so he wasn't experienced with the business. So we kind of had to take this from a very simple standpoint. And so I wanted to help him get results as fast as possible. I didn't want to spend, a month or 2 months just teaching him the business. I wanted him to actually learn within experience. So basically what we did here is we did a very simple organic research strategy. So we found a product using organic research. I didn't make him go sign up for a bunch of tools or use extensive market research strategies. We wanted to find something that was going viral and a validated product quick. So if you guys aren't familiar with, how I choose a product to sell, a lot of people sometimes, will call a product saturated if it has, more than 20 people on TikTok or social media promoting that product. And, I don't actually consider these products saturated. I consider them validated. And at that point, I know if a product is going viral on TikTok and there's people posting about it, I know this product works. And that's something that, I think is worth selling if we're able to give a better offer and messaging, which I'll go through how we actually executed that on in a little bit in this video. But what we actually did to find this product through organic research was we're going on to TikTok, which I'm going to actually show you guys here on my screen. So literally, this is completely free to do. And you're going to type in actual search terms that can bring up potential ads and products that people are selling using dropshipping. So for example, a good search term for this would be, free shipping. And I was having Nick do all of this stuff. And as you can see, if we type in free shipping, we're going to get flooded with products. And this isn't, a burner account. This isn't something just used for product research. These are literally videos just with these search terms. And, if you think about it from a business perspective, who else is going to be putting free shipping in the caption except for people selling a product? So we're able to see a bunch of videos like this. And there's, multiple different ways you can use this strategy. You can use TikTok made me buy it. You can search up Amazon finds. You can search up BOGO. You can search up 50% off, which, funny enough, when I was planning out this video, I actually typed in 50% off and was able to see the exact product that we sold. So, I'm not sure if it's going to pop up here again, but basically, you're just going to scroll through all these videos and you're going to try to find something that has a lot of likes and then look in the comments of these videos and see, how are the potential customers resonating with it? If it's getting a ton of hate comments and if it's getting, slammed in these comments, you're not going to want to sell it because those same comments are going to be, the people commenting under your ads. So it's just not worth it. But, throughout, days of research. We did this for about 3 days, and I had him send me products every single day. And then I would actually go in there and validate these products with him to make sure we weren't wasting our time with something. And we ended up finding, it was called it's a makeup brush cleaner. So, this is exactly the product that we sold. Not sure if we're going to find any of our ads here that we were running, but, here's a video here. Here's, proof that this product is validated. As you can see, 238,000 likes on this video. I'm not sure how many views, but it's a lot. Basically what this product is, it is an electronic makeup brush cleaner to get all of the bacteria, the dirt, the residue makeup off of the brushes. And the reason we chose to sell this product specifically was because it did multiple things and it met multiple of our criteria. So first of all, makeup brush. Here was kind of my thought process behind why we sold this product whenever he pitched it to me. First of all, it solves a problem. If you know any females in your life, or if you're a female specifically, you have a lot of makeup brushes. I can just say that with a fact. You definitely have a lot of, brushes and applicators and all these different things for makeup. And it becomes a hassle. If you got to scrub and wash all of these brushes every single day, it's going to take up a lot of your time. And if you can market it at this angle with, there's bacteria, there's grime, there's buildup, and it's unsafe and unsanitary to continue using those brushes day after day. To where if you can put 6, 7 brushes in this at once, as soon as you're finished doing your makeup routine, click the on button and just walk away and come back to completely free makeup brushes for a pretty low price. That's going to solve a huge problem, first of all. Plus, it saves time. And this is the biggest thing here. It saves a lot of time and gives people a convenience factor for their lives. The next thing, I've always sold it, is it has a wow factor. So the reason this product has a wow factor is because, at the time when we started selling this a year ago, there wasn't a lot of people selling on the market. There was enough to where we could validate the product, but it was something pretty new and different because, these kind of things don't really always pop up on the market. It's usually just hand washing. It's tried and true, not these many different products. So big wow factor. We validated this product by looking in the comments because, as we can see even on this video, people are saying, I need it. I need this. I want it. I need one. Where can I find one? I want it. I need it. So obviously this product has a big wow factor if before they're even purchasing the product, just off of seeing a video, we're getting all positive comments. And everyone in this comment section, for the most part, is saying this is good. I need this. Not a want, but a need. Exactly. It solves a huge problem, and it seems like it's a necessity to some people. And that's why we were able to dissect this and realize this product is going to be great to sell. Now, the next step to actually selling this product is going to be, obviously marketing. To make $166,000 in 3 months, that is not a common thing to do. And we had to use some very, very intense and fast marketing strategies to get here. But due to the fact that we had all of these other things up here that were benefiting us, it was honestly really cheap. And we had some of the lowest CPCs and lowest CPAs that I had ever seen with any of my students in the past. And, what we did, I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can go ahead and, get these kind of results. First off, basically, first thing you do before you start marketing is you want to make sure you can, source this product. So on AliExpress, I was able to find this exact product for $5. I think our cost of goods was actually a little bit lower when we sold this. I think it was like $3.50, so maybe $1 more now with inflation. But as you can see, we have 4.6 stars, which is good. That's perfectly fine. And 3,000 plus units sold. That's exactly what we want to see. If you go to a product on AliExpress and it has, 10 units sold, less than 20 units sold, you do not want to sell that product because you're probably going to get scammed. I can't tell you on how many stores in the past when I was first starting dropshipping, how many times I'd gotten fake tracking numbers and had to refund thousands of dollars worth of orders. Just trust me. You either need a mentor or someone teaching you about this business to make sure you're doing this the right way, or you need to really, really make sure you're validating your suppliers, okay? So we found the product, we sourced it, we were able to see that, the proceeds value on this product is well over $5. This is something we can sell for about, $35 to $40, and it's worth that. So next step was to go over to Mania. I don't currently use Mania all that much, but this is specifically what we used when we sold this product. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to go through Mania. Basically, I went to the products tab, searched up Shopify products, and literally just typed in makeup brush cleaner. And you're going to find all of the products that are the same as yours. As you can see here, we have the exact same product that someone was running, this month. Back then, obviously, we were able to see the currently running ones, but you're going to try to find as many products as you can of the same one as yours. There's not all too many running anymore due to the fact that the product is overly validated at this point because we've been running it for quite a while. I ended up actually stopping it because it was unprofitable after $2 million made. But as you guys can see here, this is one of the products. And what you can do with Mania and what's really good from this product is the fact that you can click on this tab here, ads from this product. And you can see the exact ads that this brand is running over the product. As you can see, this ad has 10,000 views on it. And we're able to look at it and see that, this is a high quality ad. There's no text on the screen. There's no brand names. And this is a perfect piece of UGC content that we can use. So right here on Mania, all you do is click these three dots and then click download. And you get to download this ad, without any watermark or any of that. So really, really beneficial, platform here to find these ads. Obviously, you're going to go ahead and do this from every single product you can find that's the same or similar from yours to at least get some inspiration. Looks like nobody's currently running any more ads for that. But, if you're finding a product that is currently going viral, this is the strategy you're going to want to use. And this is what we did specifically. And so now we have three different things that we need. We have a product. Check. We have a supplier. Check. And we have inspo/reuse clips. So basically what we do from this point is obviously build a store. What you're going to do to build a store is you want to make this feel very, very branded, okay? Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to get to show you the store for this exact product because he did shut it down, and I don't want to, expose his entire store strategy. So what I'm going to do instead is go ahead and show you guys mine. This is, a product that I actually just stopped running. I recently rebranded, but I was doing about $40,000 to $50,000 a month with this product just last month. And this is exactly how, I build all my stores for my students. It's this exact, template on this theme. So basically you want a very high quality product picture. You want to build an offer and build value with this, which I'm going to go over later. And you want it to all feel very smooth, very seamless, all the colors match, and just feel like a brand, because this doesn't look like a dropshipping store. This looks extremely branded. And that's exactly what you want to do to be able to get, people to actually want to buy from your store, because dropshipping is very popular right now, and people are being able to catch on to if you're a dropshipper or not. So branding your store now is extremely, extremely important. And I can't stress that enough. But, I went ahead and helped him build a store that looked pretty much just like this, with the same type of, angle, a little bit different color. We did pink, but, overall store looked really similar. And we had to build that store. And after building that store, there was kind of like a 1.5 step to this. Build funnel. And as far as funnel, what I mean by this is just your offer. Now, as you can see, on my store over here, I was selling the cellulite wand, I was selling cellulite massage oil, and a deep collagen mask that, all benefited the user, and for a one-time payment of $49. So they're not just getting the product, they're not just getting a product they could buy on Amazon for the same price, they're getting so much more value. And, that's a really, really good, dropshipping strategy to use in 2025. So surprisingly enough, my funnel is actually really similar to what we did for Nick. But basically what we sold is, a full bundle of this product. And what we sold was the brush cleaner. We sold a collagen mask. And we also sold, I forgot exactly what it was. I think it was lip cream. It was like a lip rejuvenation cream. It was like be able to bring moisture to your lips, and you apply it like once a day before you go to bed, and it's going to give you that, shinier, puffier, smoother look to your lips for, completely free. We sold this entire bundle. I think it was for like $55, or I don't remember actually. I think it might have been the same price, like $44.99 to be safe. It was between $40 and $60. But as you can see, it was a triple bundle. And they weren't just buying the makeup brush cleaner, because they could go on Amazon and buy that, or they could go to one of our competitors. But if they were comparing stores side by side to our biggest competitor at the time versus ours was so much of a better value. And this collagen mask we were getting for 99 cents. This lip cream we were getting for literally $1. So we added $2 in extra cost to our product that was $5. So now our entire bundle here was a total cost of $7 to ship out, and we were selling it for $44.99, which means we had like a $37 profit on this product, and we were spending literally about $13 per sale on this product. So, that is quite a bit of profits, like $20. I can't do the math here, like $20. So $20 per sale. And so if we do the math on that, 50% profit, about, 48% profit. So about $1 million. Nick probably made $1 million profit from the store in a year, which is pretty impressive, you ask me. And, definitely one of my best student results. And the reason Nick was able to see these type of results, before I move on, is the fact that he dedicated himself. I get a lot of people that, book calls with me, or, even join my mentorship program and expect everything to be handed to them. But that's just not how it works, because the reason that people can't be out here anymore guaranteeing results is because people expect to do minimal work and see all these crazy results and make $100,000 a month. But if you actually want to make $100,000 a month, you need to be willing to put in the work and dedicate yourself. Nick, the only thing he wanted was to learn dropshipping, and he wanted to be the best at the business. And I helped him get there. I helped him pick his product. I built his store. I helped him run his ads. And through that, Nick was able to see results because he was there every single day trying. He was working with me every single week, and we were making sure that the store was successful. And, I'm not surprised at all that it did the results that it did. But moving on here, back to building store. Obviously, after that, we have to run ads. So the strategy that we used with Nick, sometimes my strategies vary a little bit depending on the product and the student and obviously their budget into ads. But for Nick specifically, we did a 1-1-7 to launch his store. Basically what this means is this is one campaign, one ad set, and 7 creatives. So basically what this means, to break down what a campaign, what an ad set, and what a creative is I can kind of break it down like this. Like, for example, a campaign is kind of like the house, and ad sets, you could kind of think about the rooms in a house, okay? So, and then ads, creatives themselves, are the people inside of those rooms. Okay? So basically, this you're able to completely reorganize however you want on Facebook. But the way that I used for this strategy specifically was to have one campaign, and one campaign had its own budget of $50 a day. So basically, this campaign was spending a total of $50 a day. And if you were just running, on the creative level, that means to run 7 creatives, which we were doing, that would be $50, $50, $50, $50, $50, $50, $50. And that would be a lot of money per day. I think that's almost like $800 a day or something. But with a CBO, which we were doing on the campaign level, means that all 7 of our creatives inside that one ad set are all spending out of the same $50. So we're spending $50 a day, but that was getting evenly distributed across all of the creatives. And Facebook is smart enough to be able to push the right amount of traffic and figure out which ad is performing the best and deliver more of the budget to that over time. So throughout multiple days, you're going to see which ad is the best, to where you can end up canceling off the other ones and adding more based off of your results. So this is what worked best for us. And at $50 a day, we were able to see about $250 in sales. And we ended up scaling this, extremely fast because, these type of results, this is extremely good for this amount of budget. That is really, really good. So we were able to continue scaling this. Basically the strategy that I used for this store was raise 20% a day, profitable. So basically, this means that every single day we were profitable end of day on our campaigns, I would raise the budget on these ads 20%. And we did this every day until we were spending about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a day, which is when we were able to get to that $20,000 a day mark. You may be asking, why don't I just scale to $1,000 a day immediately? If I'm profitable, why don't I just boost the budget? First of all, the client, Nick, didn't have as much budget to, risk. That's a risky thing to do. And two, you need to let your ads optimize. If I had $5 million in my bank account right now and I started a new store, I would still start this at $50 a day and I would still scale at 20% a day because you want your ads to be able to optimize. If you just throw a ton of budget at Facebook, it's going to burn it 100% of the time. So, that's the best piece of advice I can give is go into this thing slow and, raise as you can. The reason we took 6 months to get to $20,000 a day was because there was a few times where ads eventually started to die out. So we had to go back in there and, reorganize our strategy, regroup, try some new creatives, try some new different angles of promoting this product. And we were eventually, able to get this to the point where it was doing $20,000 a day extremely consistently. And we were only launching about 2 different new ads a week. And obviously, I was helping him throughout the process. And throughout this, Nick was learning on his own. And I'm super proud of him now because, as we no longer work together, since it's been quite a long time at this point, Nick has launched a new store in the last 6 months and he's growing it on his own. So now Nick is literally doing about $1,000 a day from his own store, which is $30,000 a month without any of my help. So, it's not just like with my students, they're just getting results while they're working with me. He was actually able to learn the business and get into it himself. So, if you guys are ever interested in seeing like a call or a podcast or testimonial with Nick, I would love to bring him on here sometime and give you guys that content. But with all that being said, I kind of just wanted to break down the entire strategy of, how we were able to take a Nick who was completely broke, $0 in sales, no success, and, less than a few $1,000s to his name to making over $1 million in profit and, what some people would qualify as, ultra successful and rich. So I just wanted to, put this out there to show you guys that regardless of your situation in life, regardless if you have $10,000, regardless if you have $0, this business is easier than it's ever been. And it genuinely and truly can change your life within the next 6 months if you dedicate yourself to it and get the right knowledge. So, I wish you guys the best of luck. Before I end this off here, if you guys do want to learn from me specifically and get me to help you out the same way that I did with Nick, there are links in the descriptions where, one, you can apply and book a call with me to potentially see if we're a good fit to join my mentorship program. And two, I also do have a full hour-long free course that you guys can watch on YouTube, no cost, no nothing, no signups, no emails. And it just goes through, more in depth about how I do all the steps I went over in this video. But have a good rest of your day, guys. And regardless if we ever speak again or if you ever watch my videos again, I wish you the best of luck with your dropshipping journey and hope to see all you guys at, the same round table in the future. See you guys.